Hello everyone and welcome to Paris-Nice Stage 3, and we're here on the second day in Extra Channel. As always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Critical himself, Ewan Wilson. And Ewan, it is your favorite form of road riding, team time trial here in Paris-Nice.
Yes, exactly that. First time we've had a team time trial in years at Paris-Nice, a race that usually sort of shies away from the team time trial discipline. And over the past couple of years, with the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, team time trials became a bit démodé, given how sort of fragile teams were over the past couple of years with dropouts, with testing, and so forth. But they're back in 2023, and we have a new sort of rule for today. Which is kind of, it really is the headline of today's stage. That's the first rider over the line at the finish will be timed for the whole team, unlike beforehand where it used to be the fifth or fourth rider.
Yeah, it's well, we've already had two stages, so stage 3, and what we actually learned from this year, and we have Pogacar in the white jersey after his little escapade, or whatever you want to call it, for the bonus seconds. But this is, well, for the GC teams, very much limitation in terms of not losing too much time.
Yeah, exactly that. I don't think anybody's really lost time in the GC. It's just sort of Pogacar gaining little pockets of time here and there to put himself ahead of Vingegaard, which is super important. He almost got the yellow jersey yesterday. Mazepin hadn't won the stage. It would have been Pogacar yellow, which would have been a big advantage with UAE going last and seeing how every other team performs today with this sort of new approach to the team time trial. But alas, I think we've learned that the sprint has been quite predictable. Mazepin benefited from chaotic from a chaos today, like he always kind of does. He's a good sort of chaos sprinter, like Bauhaus. And then here with his fantastic Soudal quick step lead out. So we haven't had a surprise so far, I'd say. Kind of waiting for that big Paris surprise if we do ever get one.
But yeah, well, we might as well start talking about the teams. The first team, there is only one name really to highlight: Arnaud Delis, Lotto Destiny. And we spoke about it on the Echelon Cycling podcast about how Caleb Ewan has had a bit of an unlucky start to this year, but Arnaud Delis has been the complete other end of the spectrum, and here at Paris-Nice for the first time in his very young career.
This is his first ever World Tour stage race, his longest ever World Tour, his longest ever stage race, rather. Which I mean, it's interesting to see how he's going. We're so used to seeing him in sort of one-day racing. And now seeing him in this setup, it is different. Had a rough start to the race on stage one. Poorly positioned in the finale, missed his jump really there, even though he was very bullish about his chances. Then yesterday missing the mark completely, which is a shame to see, because he's a guy who's obviously filled with talent. And his team is pretty strong. Arnaud Delis, Cedric Berlin, Thomas de Gent, Pascal Eenkorn, Jacob Guarnieri, Harry Sweeney, and Brent van Moer. It is a good squad. I'm intrigued to see what they can bring over the next couple of days, particularly Sweeney and Brent van Moer in the breakaways.
So I mean, it is very. We've just seen Lotto Destiny. They've just set off. They're literally 90 seconds into their first ride. We've got 21 teams still to go. But yeah, Ewan, we might as well keep on Delis. We saw him absolutely wipe the floor with Mads Pedersen in Etoile de Bessèges on a finish where you would think it more suited Mads Pedersen.
You would say that, but then the past couple of days haven't quite worked in Delis' favor. Maybe in the next couple of stages, the tables will turn.
We spoke about the area where the team time trial is. It's a 32-kilometer long time trial, pretty flat. Well, most of that area of France is pretty flat. But yeah, Ewan, what did you learn about your quick Wikipedia search?
Well, this town, it isn't big. The town of Dampierre-en-Burly. There's only about 1,000 people who live in this small village. I'm surprised Paris-Nice could even sniff it out, to be honest. But there's not much going on around here. It's in the Loire département, which is more famous for a certain city of Joan of Arc, Orléans, which is the prefecture of this area. Also in the Loire Valley, so we're not far away from white wine making country. But yeah, the big thing here in Dampierre is the nuclear power plant. Of course, France historically have been big pioneers in nuclear energy. Um, and in Dampierre, it seems to be the only real economy. I'm sure all the people lining the streets today have at least one tie to nuclear energy.
Next team that just set off was Israel Premier Tech, and their only finisher last year is here, Ugo Ul. Which I was actually in Nice last year, and it was crazy. You had a whole bus just for Ugo Ul, and hopefully it's not as a lonely affair this year for him. 11th,
As he
11th,
deserves.
I think,
As he
It was
deserves.
pretty good.
Sorry?
11th. He did well.
Yeah, because he's a fabulous rider. Is our man Hugo Hull from Quebec, from Saint-Perpétue. Yeah, he is actually leading this team formally this year. It was one of the big World Tour hunters last year. Got a stage win in Foix. He found the faith there, take the win, and I mean, one of the most powerful stories of last year's Tour de France. Him getting that stage winning his brother who was killed in a sort of drunk driving accident. And this year, they have a number of riders here with talent. We've got Steve Williams as well, Welshman coming here. He was he signed last year. The Crow race back in 2021, if I recall, where he had a strong performance there. And yeah, he was one of these British guys that you thought, wow, he's on the cusp of doing something big, but just didn't click at Bahrain. Now at Israel Premier Tech, maybe something will change. But Lotto Destiny now on our screens, 5 minutes into their ride. They could get a good time today. I'd say a decent mid-pack time, but I'm not expecting big things from them. They do have a good time trial powerhouse in Thomas de Gent, and a couple of sort of breakaway engines in Brent van Moer, Harry Sweeney, and Pascal Eenkorn. But Scott, I'm not hugely enthusiastic about Lotto Destiny's chances. However, they will be in the hot seat for at least 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, probably more. Let's be honest, it's Israel Premier Tech. Zing! First Israel Premier Tech joke. Or burn. But it is like the discipline of team time trialing. It's very kind of, you have to know your teammates really well. You can only really go as fast as the slowest link in a way, and whatever strategy they're doing as well. Are they dropping riders off or whatever? But like Lotto Destiny should, in a way, you would think would be one of the premier teams today, because they are lead out train basically, and a lead out is almost a team time trial in a respect, but just with 200 riders on your wheel instead of 5 teammates.
Yeah, I mean, we used to see that Ethics Quick Step, Alpha Vine, or whatever they were called. They dominated the time trialing in the 2010s when team time trialing was very in vogue. Which does make us sort of go into this blind because we haven't seen many team time trials over the past, since COVID break. We don't really have any idea of who's going to go well. We don't have any expectations of which teams are well drilled in this discipline. So I'm also to some extent open for some surprises. We could see some teams really bounce through. We saw EF ride strongly at the UAE Tour. So maybe we'll just get our pens and paper out and write down the stars of the team time trial for the rest of 2023. But one team I'm not expecting Israel Premier Tech. But similarly, on my point is that they haven't really had any experience at triple T's at the World Tour level, because they got promoted in 2020, and then the COVID break happened, and team time trials were wiped out.
I'm hearing we're just having a bit of echo here.
Oh no!
I got it. I think we're fixed now.
Got them.
Yeah, Streamlabs. But nevertheless, we were talking about Israel Premier Tech. Yeah, I think it's a good point. They haven't really had any exposure, as you said, since they've moved up and now consequently moved down again to Pro Conti. But there was a Pro Cycling Stats, amazing website, as we always say. But they had up all the recent time trials that we've had. The latest result for Israel in a team time trial was UAE 14th, then 16th in the Vuelta a España last year. Then you have to go all the way back to Tour of Britain, where they were 4th. They actually did win one back in Dampierre-en-Burly, but I mean, the level there isn't as high as it is here. So yeah, and it's obviously not the same team. They've changed a lot over the years as well. But yeah, I completely agree. What do you think of Soudal Quickstep? A very, very good team in terms of team time trials.
Yeah, I mean, historically very strong, recently at the UAE Tour. So on paper, really strong candidates. I think Soudal and Jumbo will be the two big favorites for today. Just saw Bahrain go out as well. Bahrain, not quite sure who they're working for here at Paris-Nice. They have Jack Haig, who's probably going to be their leader, but also Kamil Grag, Philip Matseyuk, Gino Merda, Jonathan Milan, Wout Poels, and Fred Wright. So, I mean, it's a solid team. Milan, who's very used to this kind of setup, normally riding around in circles.
Yeah, European individual pursuit champion now. European champ.
Yeah, and Olympic team TP champion as well. Friends with Pipo Ganna on the track. Not quite confident about him. Haig's a decent. Fred Wright got that track engine in him, and Wout Poels has been a part of the both Quick Step and Team Sky trains in the Triple T. So yeah, Bahrain could do a decent time today.
Team Jayco Ayula just started as well. They're a very good team in terms of team time trialing with Orica Green Edge. They won. I think they were the ones who won the fastest ever Tour de France stage in terms of a team time trial. Simon Yates almost won the final stage last year. Luke Durbridge, very good tester, Turbo Durbo. Lucas Hamilton, we won't speak about him because every time we talk about him, he doesn't do well. Chris Harper, just coming from Jumbo Visma. Michael Matthews, we know he's very good. Kellen O'Brien, and Matteo Sabro. Of course, we don't really need to mention him too much because he's a phenomenal time trialist, beaten Ghana in the Italian national championships before. But yeah, Ewan,
and also a Giro d'Italia stage winner.
This, I think, is this could be our first leaders or hot seat, you would think.
Yeah, first legitimate hot seat contenders here. And I mean, yeah, talking about people with good prestige, they were sort of the team back in the day. When was it? 2014 through 16. They were real sort of top dogs in the team time trial. In 2013, they won the Tour de France team time trial around the city of Nice. 2014 as well, in Northern Ireland, they won the team time trial around Belfast. In 2015 as well, they won the team time trial in Sanremo in Italy at the Giro. So they are a really, really strong formation in the Triple Ts. They've also performed very well at individual time trials over the past year. Sombrero won at the Giro. Simon Yates won a time trial at the Giro. Yes, Yates won a time trial at the Giro. Yates also performed very well in the time trial last year's Paris-Nice. If you recall then, in Montluçon was the town it was in. And it was... it showed that this team have done real big research and development in the team in the time trial discipline. They've got new bikes. They're with Giant now. They've put big bucks into researching, and it looks to be paying off.
Yeah, we've got next team coming up is Alpecin de Koenig. No Mathieu van der Poel. He's of course at Tirreno Adriatico. It gets very confusing in this time of the year, which rider is where, and the overlapping racing, obviously. Obviously, you and I have spoken about that it shouldn't be a thing. It's a bit disrespectful to both races. But nevertheless, Alpecin de Koenig, Sankau Andersen is here, Caden Groves, probably the two headliners, you would say, of this squad. Or what do you think, Ewan? This team looks like they're just here for the training to get ready for the classic season.
Yeah, Alpecin de Koenig have never won a stage of Paris-Nice in the past, which is surprising. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to expect. They've got a strong sprinter in Lionel Tamino as well. Got a top 5 yesterday. He came second at Rogaška Slatina last year at the Tour of Slovenia behind Dylan Groenewegen. But looking elsewhere in that squad as well, Jason Osborne. He's just a guy I think is really intriguing. A Olympic medalist in rowing. Also a e-cycling Zwift world champion in 2020. So he was picked up by Alpecin de Koenig, and I'm intrigued to see what he can bring to the table here. I know the German fans on Twitter are very excited about Mr. Osborne.
28.6 kilometers for Jayco Ayula. And yeah, we're getting towards the intermediate time check for them, obviously. But in less than 2 minutes, we've got Ineos Grenadiers and Ewan. They have this phenomenal record at Paris-Nice. Geraint Thomas, Bradley Wiggins, Egan Bernal, Sergio Henao. I think I'm missing one as well. Well, Mikhail Kwiatkowski was on the podium when Egan Bernal was first. So, yeah, what can we expect from them this year?
Yeah, Ineos Grenadiers with plenty of contenders in their ranks. I saw an interview with Pavel Sivakov saying in L'Equipe, actually saying that he wanted to prove himself as a legitimate leader of the squad. We'll see what happens here. I think the egg should be in the basket of Daniel Martinez. But they have a couple of good sort of young guns as well. Josh Tarling, who's the second youngest rider to ever ride Paris-Nice. He's here. Connor Swift as well, who's ridden very well in Paris in the past couple of years, particularly in the 2020 COVID edition when he was riding on behalf of Quintana. He rode a very strong race there. And Jonathan Narvaez is a rider you never know what you're going to get from. Usually goes well at this time of year. So I'm intrigued. But for the Triple T, maybe they should be in top 10. I'm not sure where.
Yeah, after them we've got Intermarché, One to Group Gobert. No, not with Biniam Girmay. He is, of course, Tirreno Adriatico and could potentially be winning the stage that we've got. But yeah, Lotto Destiny, they are inching their way towards, very fast, towards the intermediate time check. So we will see what's going to happen there. But Ineos Grenadiers are the team that have, according to Pro Cycling Stats, we haven't seen them on the camera yet, have just started. So we know the pictures are a bit behind, but we've got Astana coming up as well. Yeah, here we're just getting pictures of Ineos Grenadiers. Danny Martinez, Ewan, phenomenal rider as well last year. Really putting it to Primož Roglič, or at least trying to, on the Col de Turini.
Yep, exactly that. I'm also thinking about his performances deeper into the calendar as well, particularly the Basque Country, where he just flew off the front. Read the race very well and got the overall victory, despite Vingegaard, Sasha Vlasov, and Remco Evenepoel, all these strong guys battling it out behind. He is a great rider, and I'm intrigued to see what this team can bring to the table on this team time trial. Yeah, you can just see we really in the middle of nowhere very quickly. They roll off the start ramp and boom, you're in countryside. They're exposed to wind pretty quickly. Of course, we're in the Loire Valley, so it's a bit of a wind tunnel around here. Part of the world known for its beautiful chateaus, of which Dampierre does have one, and white wine. This is the part of the world where you can get some of the best white wine in the world.
But yeah, when you're looking at Ineos Grenadiers, we have to talk about him. Josh Tarling, phenomenally tall,
yes.
Not even under 23, junior world time trial champion, almost in this Remco-esque trend now that foregoing the under 23 years, but he's already got a podium in a stage already earlier this year. So really duck to water here.
Yeah, exactly that. He is a strong time trialist, so he's probably going to be useful here. But how many team time trials has he ridden with these proper big guns? I'm not quite so sure, but there was a time trial, I believe, in Tour de l'Avenir last year, which he was a part of. So I mean, he's done triple T's, but just not quite at this level.
Oh, we're seeing pictures of Tadej Pogačar.
It's my boy.
Many people's favorite, obviously Jonas Vingegaard as well. I think that is such a treat that they're getting Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogačar at this race. They must have had some kind of, hey guys, we need you at Paris-Nice. Because, Paris-Nice, if we look at the list of winners, okay, we had Roglic last year, and arguably we should have had Roglic the year before as well, but it was Maximilian Schachmann winning. But, Ewan, it's the list of winners has kind of been up and down in terms of the prestige in the riders. And, I forgot about Rishi Porte as well winning for Sky. So they've kind of, Sky just used this as a tune-up race almost before they dominated the Tour de France in the Chris Froome-Wiggins era.
They really did dominate for a while. Egan Bernal in 2019, Sergio Henao in 2017, Geraint Thomas 2016, Porte 15, Porte 13, Wiggins 12. That's a lot of winners. They really did sort of have a stranglehold on this race. And then 2020, 21, strange editions of the race. 2020 with the big COVID asterisks, the race was cancelled halfway through. Well, it was shortened. We didn't have the final stage, which could have changed things completely. And we also had Tish Benoit finishing in second place at a 1 week long stage race, which was interesting to say the least. And also, I mean, general uncertainty. A lot of riders left that race halfway through. I remember Bettiol just abandoned, I think, on stage 3 and flew back to Italy.
Rider dropped. Ayula.
Oh,
they've lost a rider.
I can't tell who it is because their number
that was really bad number
in their jersey. But on a day like today, it doesn't really matter. But 20k to go, that is pretty early because remember, it's the first rider across the line that will make the difference.
Think maybe this is like a signal how fast they're going, that they're really pushing on that. That's why maybe that rider has been doing the first, what was it, almost 10 kilometers. So it's actually a good strategy here from Ayula, because we know Jaco, we know they're definitely going to be trying to take the win here, as long as it's not Sobrero.
Yeah, if it's Sobrero, then whoopsies. But then he might have just emptied the tank so much, got these guys to up the pace so they can keep it up for the rest of the day. But I doubt that. Also, I was listening to something the other day. There was a professor at KU Leuven, one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the world, who was talking about aerodynamics in terms of when you're riding in a team time trial, it's best to swing out far away from the riders, because if you come too close, if you swing off and ride like other guys, there's actually an aerodynamic deficit there. It's better to swing wide, which you can see now with Ineos Grenadiers, where they're going wider. Jumbo Visma have been doing this for the past couple of years as well. Where these teams that are a little bit more sort of tech savvy, they're realizing that there are marginal gains to be made by swinging off wide once you're done with your turn. Because if you remember back in the day, they used to swing off and go sort of like shoulder to shoulder with some of these riders. I saw Jaco were doing that earlier, so maybe they didn't get the memo about this report from the professor at KU Leuven. And yeah, you can see there as well, Bahrain victorious with Wout Poels swinging out wide too.
Yeah, Bahrain victorious starting. We didn't really go. We missed them completely. You mentioned.
I mentioned them.
Yeah, you did mention them, so it's fine.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect from them, to be honest.
I don't think they know either. But yeah, I mean, Ineos Grenadiers also having like a wealth of backroom staff that contains Dan Bigham as well. He's on the ground today, so team time trial. it should be the bread and butter of Ineos Grenadiers. When you think about all the resources they have behind them and the links they also have with the F1 team. But here we go. Israel Premier Tech coming up to the intermediate time check. They are shockingly not going to be faster than Lotto Destiny. Who would have thought that? Oh, Astana now.
Yeah. Oh, yes, this is Astana. Kazakhstan. That's Kazakhstan with a Q. They have Luis Leon Sanchez, a rider who's always very good at Paris-Nice. They also have sprinter Case Ball, David de la Cruz, Dimitri Grosdev, Davide Martinelli, Vadim Pronsky, and Javier Romo. Interesting squad, a couple of sprinters and a couple of climbers. De la Cruz has won a Paris-Nice stage recently in 2017. I say recently. And Luis Leon Sanchez, am I right in saying he's won this race?
Yeah, but it was only because Alberto Contador wasn't eating enough food and completely went backwards. And
a win's a win.
Yeah, Lance Armstrong was laughing at Alberto Contador because of that. That was the year Lance Armstrong was still riding in his second career or second stint at cycling. Oh, that was an amazing rivalry, you will have to say, in a way. But Bahrain victorious, looking very smooth. Well, they were all looking very smooth. But I must admit, Ewan, like, I don't like seeing crashes, but I feel like when crashes happen in team time trials, they're always spectacular. Like, I remember Gianni Moscon, his wheel collapsing on him in Tirreno Adriatico a few years ago when they were Sky. It just goes completely crazy.
Yeah, that was actually because one of the mechanics made a mistake in putting...
Probably not a mechanic anymore.
There was a mechanic error. Yeah, exactly. It was actually, I read something yesterday because Tirreno started in the same place yesterday where Moscon crashed, and there was a little tidbit about that incident with Moscon because it was a new piece of machinery, and one of the mechanics made a mistake in tuning it up ready for Moscon. But yeah, team time trial crashes, they are spectacular. I think of the one back in
Speaking of
Ponferrada, if you recall from the women's race, there was a big crash, and it was sort of the bookies' favorite. They were nailed on to win. It was Rabobank
Oh
squad, it had Marianne
yes,
Vos and all those. They had like
yes. Now you say it.
undeniably the team. They were up at every split, and in the final like 3 kilometers, one of the girls went boom, pinged off the barriers, and took down half the squad. They lost their gold medal in what was one of the most spectacular crashes I've seen in a bike race.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize we saw Bahrain victorious from above that their back is orange. I didn't.
Yeah, some of their skin suits are kind of a slightly different design to the normal one. Just I think it's also just for like materials and patchwork and so forth. Which does make the jerseys have a different look on time trial day. You will notice that. Also, it could just be the way that that's color graded and so forth. But they do go fastest
Yeah, fastest
at the
time.
split.
Bahrain victorious right now.
Fair play, fair
Just
play.
remember we've had no
Um,
team yet finish.
yeah, we're waiting. This is actually the longest World Tour time trial since 2018. So yeah, it's a long one. This day around Dampierre-en-Burly.
Yeah, apologies for the late start to Paris-Nice. That was my fault, but we are going to be doing all the other stages and recaps as well here on the Cycling Day and Extra channel. But now we've got Uno X Pro Cycling, and they have got the polka dot jersey courtesy of not Vingegaard, Jonas Gregor. And they have also got Alexander Kristoff with these very bizarre helmets. They went across all of cycling when when they first used them. Ugh, aerodynamics gone too far in a way, I think. Or what do you think, Ewan? They're not winning any beauty contests with those helmets.
No. They look kind of like sort of it's like sort of something about from like Lego minifigures or something. It's strange. It's really odd. But this team, it's decent. They're tuning up for the Tour de France that they'll be starting this year. On the squad, I mean, the stars include Alexander Kristoff, Rasmus Tiller, who is the Norwegian champion on the road, Søren Vadenshold, former European champion at the under 23 level, as well as Jonas Gregor, who's in that polka dot jersey, former rider for Astana. He was one of their talent signings a while back. Never quite lived up to expectations there, but he was swept up by Uno X last year, I believe, and now he's riding for the Norwegian Pro Continental team at Paris-Nice. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, I mean it's been a good rescuing for many of the Scandinavian riders to kind of get like a second throw at their career and not just go straight down into Conti level. So I mean Uno X, it's very strange that they've only got Danish and Norwegian, none other riders, but in a way it's quite nice as a Scandinavian to have that team because we have no CSC or Saxo Bank, which was never really a Scandinavian team because the stars were Contador, Slack. The Danish riders were like the domestiques, but here they're a bit more in the forefront. And Kristoff, as we spoke about, definitely the superstar there. But Jaco Ayula, they're coming up to the intermediate time check. We were kind of predicting this as well. It looks like they are going to have their fastest time. Not too surprising, you would say, given their pedigree in the event and then the riders that they have as well. Michael Matthews looks like he's just 22 seconds.
No, I'm thinking of the average speed, 59 kilometers an hour.
That 59?
Yeah, it is ever so
my
slightly
goodness.
downhill, but it's not dramatic. So that is really
Has
impressive.
the wind changed? Have they got headwind, tailwind here?
Well, it's kind of it's like a diamond shape, this course. So they'll sort of be battered by the wind from the other direction once they turn back into Dampierre. But next up, as je disais, Citroën. They're working for Aurélien. I think it's Aurélien Paris-Peintre who's here. I think his brother's in Tirreno, if I recall. It is Aurélien Paris-Peintre. It's the stronger of the two brothers, you would say. Also here, Clément Berthier, Michael Cheral, Stan de Wolf, Dorian Godon, who currently sits in top 10 in GC, Oliver Nasser, and Larry Warbasse, the man from Michigan.
He kind of faded since he went to the team.
How rude. He's been featuring on the cycling podcast for a while now.
Well, there we go. Not really helping his cycling career in that sense.
Yeah. Hey, he's friends with Pogacar. Lives in Villefranche, right in the south coast, one of the most beautiful towns you can find. Actually, where Emily in Paris season 2, there was an episode filmed in Villefranche. It was disguised as Saint-Tropez. Yes, that's all my comments for Emily in Paris today.
Any Warbass fans, take this as a compliment, but I've always thought he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal a bit.
Yeah. I also think the American national champions kit is very
Oh
cool.
yeah,
So I'd
when he
quite
had
like him
it for
to
Aqua
win.
Blue, that was amazing. Bring it back.
Yes, Aqua Blue, rest in
Oh,
peace.
that was a great team for that 2 weeks.
Yes, and they couldn't guarantee rider
Yeah.
salaries, which is a bit of a sort of HR nightmare. But we're seeing now Ineos Grenadier right at the back of the team, trying to work out who the face is. I think that might be young Josh Charling at the back, trying to hang on. Yeah, number 25. That would be Connor Swift, in fact. Fair play. But this team, I'm expecting to probably challenge Jaco Alula at the Czech.
So I heard something about Josh Tarling that, yeah, I mean, it sounded crazy, but that there is a theory that they're going to try and make him the next Bradley Wiggins, and he's going to be the next big British hope in terms of getting a Grand Tour win.
Well, we've heard that before.
Insert name.
Nevertheless, Alpecin de
Peter
Koenig
Kenyak.
are going to cross the line at the Czech, not at the same time nor speed as Jaco Alula. I think their drought in Paris-Nice, their famine in Paris-Nice will continue. They've never won a stage at this race, and they also have not won a World Tour. Well, they haven't won any stage in 2023. They're the only World Tour team to have not done so. That's more likely the change in Tirreno Paris-Nice, I'm afraid.
Because Mr. Van der Poel and Jasper Philipsen.
Yeah, you would say so. But you never know. I mean, they have Søren Andersen, who is a guy who's won Paris-Nice stages in the past. Could do quite well.
Next we have Team Arkea Samsic that I forgot that they had moved up to the World Tour.
That's a violation.
I mean, looking at the team, I don't think I'm disproved, to be honest.
Dan McClay got a top 5 in yesterday's sprint. And also, I must say, Kevin Vauquelin has already won a stage race this year. They also have the very good sprinter in David Dekker.
He is very good.
A man who collects shoes. He's big into his shoes, as David Dekker. You can read more about that over on Derailer. My friend Kate interviewed him last year. Interesting guy. Also a very friendly guy, as David Dekker. Mathis Louvel as well, good guy, breakaway contender, and Michel Rice as well, the Luxembourgish rider in this team. And sort of under the radar signing once again, Clément Champoussin, former Vuelta a España stage winner. He's moved over to the Breton formation this year.
Yeah, I know you and Patrick were very hot on Kevin Vauquelin over on the Echelon. One of the episodes, you were both talking him up, which was nice to have you both. Yeah, unanimous about that. But 11 kilometers left for the fastest team right now on course, which is Jaco Alula and Lotto Destiny. They are coming towards the finish. We just saw a rider get dropped off. So the pace, it was actually Thomas de Gent, former podium finisher. Podium. I keep thinking he won this, but I think it was on the podium he finished. I'll double check that. I'm pretty sure he finished on that. He at least won a stage, 2 stages.
That is misinformation, ladies and gentlemen. He did win a stage one year, but he never finished on the podium.
Oh, it's Louis Vestra. That's who I'm confusing him with. Rest in peace.
Yes. Of course, Louis Vestra sadly passed not too long ago for reasons we won't delve into. But Harry Sweeney of Lotto Destiny has been dropped officially. A guy who really broke through in 2021, Scott. If you remember that stage into Nîmes, he was in the breakaway, finished in 3rd place.
That's true. He hasn't really amounted to as much as we were hoping for. Ineos Grenadiers here coming to the intermediate time check. They're down on Jaco Alula. They're already 20 seconds out of their time, so it's probably not going to be Ineos Grenadiers taking the honours today. 24 seconds. That's a huge chunk in 10 miles in 16 kilometers. That is huge.
This is good news for Simon Yates. I mean, I think the Jaco Alula new bikes or whatever they've done in that department is proving very good.
Oh, DSM, next team.
Spare a thought for the rider who doesn't actually have
Yeah.
a profile picture. It's that is Matt Dinham of Australia, who just doesn't have a profile picture apparently, according to our race organizers. That's a shame. The 22-year-old from Australia. But who's on their start list, I hear you ask? Well, we have John Degenkolb, who's won stages here in the past. Romain Bardet, their leader, probably from France, from Brioude.
Probably.
Also, Pavel Bittner, who's had a good start to the season from the Czech Republic. Niels Eekhoff, Chris Hamilton, and the young American Kevin Vermaerke. I want to say his name in the Flemish way, given that he's got a Flemish surname.
Probably.
He is almost unanimously their leader. Oh, is that a new rider dropped, or is that still Harry Sweeney? That's number 7
Delhi
for Lotto. Wait, was it number 1?
That can't.
Was it Delhi?
Are they saying it's Honor Delhi? Not that it matters because he doesn't care about the GC.
I can't tell whether it's number 1 or number 7 on the back, but it does look like the sort of big frame of Arnaud. I think it is. C'est le taureau. It's the bull. Arnaud Delhi has been dropped. But remember, it doesn't matter today because it's the first rider across the line that will stop the clock.
8.7 kilometers left for Jayco. And as you said, Simon Yates is going to be licking his lips over this. He's going to potentially take a huge chunk out of his GC rivals here.
Yep, this is really good news for Jayco. If they can hold this up, the average speed that we saw was just
off the charts,
insane. Yeah. Almost 60k an hour. That must be a record or something in a triple T. But yeah, it looks like. These roads, they're a straight line. They're not very technical. We have maybe like 3 or 4 corners in the whole race, and here we go. Whoa, they are imploding. That's Arnaud Delhi, 100% off the back. Also, another rider just overtaking him. And this is our first glimpse of what's going to happen in the finish, because we don't quite know how this is going to go. And here we go. It is a rider sprinting off the front. This is Pascal Aencorn trying to stop the clock. Remember, it's the first rider over the line who does stop the clock. Pascal Aencorn's dropped the team. He stops the clock at 34 minutes and 58 seconds. That's 55 kilometer an hour average. And it's Pascal Aencorn who demonstrates what we could be seeing throughout today is that riders are going to be sprinting off the front to stop the clock. And that could be useful for Jayco if they have Michael Matthews all the way to the line.
It's weird that they didn't finish with Arnaud Delhi.
Maybe he didn't have anything in tank. But Aencorn, decent sprinter as well. The squirrel.
7.7 kilometers still left for Jayco, and we're getting Intermarché 1 to Groupe Robert coming up, or Intermarché Circus 1 to, shall I say, coming up to the intermediate time check here. They're well off the pace here, already almost a minute outside the time of Jayco Ayula, 49 seconds. So, but still going 56.6 kilometers an hour.
Yep, let's go down to the start ramp in Dampierre-en-Burly, and it is Bora Hansgrohe with 2-time champion Maxi Schachmann. Sam Bennett here as well, came close to winning on stage 1. Marco Haller, Bob Jungels, Ryan Mullen, Nils Pollitt, and Danny van Poppel. That's Bora's squad. I would say a good triple T lineup. I don't know how you feel about it.
No, I think you're right.
I would say Pollitt's a good engine, Mullen, Jungels, and Maxi Schachmann.
Yeah, you basically want those big. If you can't have a Ghana or if you can't have a Tony Martin or whatever, you want those kind of the lead out men, and that's a really good team.
Yeah, we'll see what have they ever won a team time trial, Bora?
I feel
World Tour level? Oh, rider dropped off the back.
Wait, so
if I'm wrong,
the GC it doesn't count if Simon Yates drops off here. He still gets the same time. Yeah,
they get the same time as the rider in front.
So weird.
Just I want to get closer inspection because it was one of those shorter, more slight guys. Couldn't tell if it was Simon Yates or someone else. It's hard. It's like the camera's overexposed today. You can't quite see what the numbers are in the back. I believe that might be Simon Yates still in the group.
Yeah, I think he's third. It looks like him.
Yeah, I think he's third wheel. So I apologize, but I couldn't work out who it was who was dropped. You can see the 5 and the 7 around him. That would be Michael Matthews and Sombrero are still here. I would imagine Kel O'Brien is still here as well. Good cobble engine. That's number 6 coming to the back now. That is Kel O'Brien, so he's still there. Who's the other short maybe it was because in that team, it's only Harper, Hamilton, and Yates who I would say are guys who probably couldn't hang on. But Yates has been time trialing very well. And Yates is second wheel, and number 2 is still here. Number 2 is Durbridge. So one of their climbers, either Harper or Hamilton, was dropped.
I was going to say, Simon Yates has done very well in the time trials recently.
Yep, he has. It's like he's sort of flicked a switch.
Next team coming up here, UAE Team Emirates with Tadej Pogačar, and I'll let you talk about them because you love them.
Yes, it's time for Pogo Stick Tadej Pogačar, the little kid from Komenda in Slovenia. He is 4th on the ramp today. Alongside him, it's Oliveira, Biel, Groshatna, Domen Novak, Matteo Trentin. And it's going to be big things for Pogačar. He hasn't quite done a triple T alongside his teammates before. And yeah, it's going to be a big tell of how much time he might lose to Jumbo-Visma, but you never know. They might pull through and surprise us all today. Pogačar's already gained 12 seconds on Vingegaard, and he's motivating his team on the start line, telling them probably to keep it cool, guys. Let's stay in formation all the way to the line, and don't be surprised if you see Pogačar flying off in the final kilometer to stop the clock early. The clock trickles down, and off the ramp they go in Dampierre-en-Burly. And it's Miguel Biel who takes them into the line first. Good friend of Pogačar, the Dane, who's a former world champion for the under-23 level at the time trial discipline. They all go back into line, and they get ready for the end.
They're seeing that Israel finish to this. It's so weird. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this.
And it's, Corley Stebanek. It is our man. It's Ugo Uluk stops the clock for Israel Premier Tech. Second place, 1 minute and 28 seconds down. Oh, wow. They lost
might get
time big.
What's the time limit on this?
Yeah, but Ugo, feel bad for him because you know he could have dug deep in his own. He's a great time trialist. The man from Saint-Perpétue in Quebec.
Astana coming through the intermediate time check here. It looks like they might just sneak inside the provisional top 5. But I don't think they're going to be staying in that top 5. Plenty of faster teams coming. But yeah, former winner, Luis Leon Sanchez. Is he their main man here? Looking towards his friend, Fernando Alonso, doing well at Formula 1. And maybe he wants to roll back the years as well. Oh, well, UAE are all over the place here.
In a long time.
UAE are a bit...
Oh, yeah, this is... Oh, no.
Who's that?
Who's that off the bag?
34.
34. That would be Felix Groshatna, who was caught up in a crash on stage 1. But this is surprising. Groshatna is a decent time trialist, but this seems chaotic.
He's back now.
Guys, come on.
He's back.
Yeah, 58k an hour though. It's not far off the average time of Jaco. But they're not a team who historically have done well in the team time trials on UAE. Maybe they've sort of learned from this. They knew that in Paris they'd have to get the act together. But if next year the Tour de France turns around and throws in a team time trial halfway through,
that was nearly a crash.
Wow, Jack Haig almost hitting one of the riders there. Steve Williams almost causing a crash. Bad blood between former teammates there. Steve Williams looking around. It's Jack Haig coming through, whilst one of the riders sticks their hands up. Who was that? Who was frustrated? But Haig stops the clock.
Yeah, that could have ended quite badly.
Well, Steve Williams almost causing a pile-up in the final dash to the line. That might be the problem here in Dampierre-en-Burly, but we are seeing that the trend is that riders are escaping off the front to try to sprint on their own. It's not like beforehand where they would have to sort of fan out together and sprint as an ensemble. The riders are really going for their own chances here. We cut to UAE Team Emirates. Towards the back of the group here, this is number 7 for them. That is Tim Wellens, who's had a great start to the season this year with his new team. He gets joined by Rui Oliveira on the back. I like Oliveira. He's becoming a bit of a Swiss Army knife in the UAE lineup. Becoming a little bit sharper in the sprints, sharper in the sort of hillier profiles. But Scott, Uno X are about to come over the check here.
Yeah, not great.
It's not their day.
The helmet's not helping, to be honest. Oh,
yeah.
600 meters now. They're coming to the finish. Jaco Eula, this is going to be quick. 74 kilometers an hour. Oh, my goodness. They're going to break all records here, you would think. Is it Matthews? Is Matthews number 15? He must be.
Matthews is on the back of his trainers. Matthews, Yates, and I believe Kel O'Brien, who's doing the lead out here. So O'Brien with Matthews and Yates in the wings. Position, the man who won in Budapest across the line, it seems. Michael Matthews with a little wrestling across the line. It's like the scene between him and Buani a couple of years back. It's Matthews and Yates all the way to the line here in Dampierre. Stop the clock. 56.8 kilometers average time. They're 43 seconds quicker than Bahrain victorious. And it looks like Jacob Al-Ula are in pole position for the time being. Yates and Matthews. Whew.
Rapid team, that.
Yates with a big smile on his face.
But I mean, this could be interesting if you have the dynamic of Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogačar obviously being better than Simon Yates, but he has the jersey, but he's still a phenomenal climber. It just depends what form he's on. He's a bit hot and cold, you would say.
They include David Gaudu, Arnaud Desmarques, Kevin Genietz, Ignatius Konovalovas, Stefan Kung, Rudy Mollard, and Miles Scottson. It's an interesting squad here with, well, as we found out early this year, Arnaud Desmarques and David Gaudu. David Gaudu spilling the tea, as you could say, on a Discord server. Some of his saying that him and Arnaud can't even share a lift together when riding on the same races. They don't seem to get on very well. So we'll see what happens. Maybe that tension has been broken. David Gaudu had to apologize after the messages got leaked from his Discord.
Who's on his Discord leaking it?
Exactly. Well, he's a gamer, as David Gaudu. He streams a lot, plays video games online. David Gaudu, he's a man-child, you could say. Citroën are about to cross the intermediate check, and they are 7th, 41 seconds down.
We're not really too bothered about them, to be honest. Well, you would think they have bigger goals than this, but maybe that's doing Paris-Nice a disservice. Movistar, and who have they actually brought this year?
Matteo Jorgensen.
That could be interesting. He's on good form.
Yep. Former top 10 finisher at Paris-Nice as well. He was right up there in the stage in the Rhone Valley last year that passed through the Ardèche. The one that was won by Brandon McNulty. I think he was in the podium on that day. Was Jorgensen. He was up in the break. Nonetheless, Bora Hansgrohe, 10 minutes into their ride, they're all still together. I've got good vibes about this ride.
I mean, compared to Ayula, I think everyone's losing time.
Yep, just wait until Jumbo and Soudal come out, maybe. Soudal was a little bit more sort of lead-out focused instead of the UAE team squad, which was a little bit more sort of time trial mountain focused. Also, other teams that have done well in the past include EF. They have Stefan Bissiger, who won in the town of Gien, which is a 15-minute drive away from where we're riding today. Also, in that squad, Owain Dull, Magnus Cort, Tom Scully, who's a road guy, and Marijn Vandenberg, who's a great engine. I'm expecting EF to go loud, almost as loud as their jersey, but we'll have to wait and see.
But yeah, well, we've got still a few teams to come. We've also got Train Radico happening, and Jumbo Visma and Intermarché are pulling, apparently. Well, we would understand why. Ineos Grenadiers is the next team to come towards the finish line. Then Intermarché, Circus, Wanty, and in terms of next team that we got, have we got all teams? No, we got Total Energies is the next team to start now.
First rider out the back for UAE, and that is Domen Novak, the man from Novo Mesto in Slovenia. Great town. It's actually where the Tour of Slovenia ended last year. He met up with his family at the finish there. And he's out the back now. The new signing to UAE as well. I think he's going to be a big star of this season.
Tadej Pogačar seems like he's just pulling all the time. Guys, get in the back.
It does. Behind him is number 7. That is Tim Wellens. Also, a strong time trialist in this team would be Miguel Biao, but it's not really a team time trial force to be reckoned with, you would say. Albus Interkoenig coming towards the line. One of their riders sprinting might be Lionel Tamino. Looks like his figure. 1:27 down, though, on Jacob Al-Ula. That really was a banging ride.
Yeah. I think you're going 54.8 a 54.5 kilometers an hour average, and you're losing a minute and a half. That's incredible. Wow. Jaco Ayula really giving out a lesson in team time trialing. But yeah, we've got Samsic coming up towards the intermediate time check, and they're not losing as much time as I thought they were gonna. I think they're just gonna.
Yeah, this is a solid ride. It's Clément Champussin currently on the front. Don't forget Kevin Vauquelin, brilliant time trialist on their team. Oh, here we go. Total Energy just starting. Pierre Latour, former French time trial champion, he's on their squad looking for GC success. He did come down in a crash yesterday, however. They also have Edvard Bosenhagen from Norway, good time trialist about 10 years ago. Also, Jérémy Cabot, Sandy Dujardin, Paul Ourselin, who was in the breakaway a couple days back, and Anthony Turgis of France, who was very active on stage 1 when Pogacar and Neilson Powless attacked. There we go. Former British champion Ben Swift out the back for Ineos, and another rider getting dropped as well. It looks like they're aiming. I think that's Connor Swift. They're aiming for the strategy of just.
So both Swifts go. Bye bye.
Yeah, they're cousins as well. It's not a coincidence. But yeah, I think they're also going for the strategy of just hammer it out all the way to the line to stop the clock together.
I don't like this. I really don't like this change. It seems so weird.
What the rule change?
I'm not a fan. But 600 meters left.
It's just a 30-kilometer long.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 27 off the back now. That is the big frame of Josh Tarling, the youngster, the second youngest rider to ever ride Paris-Nice. Actually, his government name is Michael. Who knew? Pushing on the front now, Ineos trying to stop the clock. It's Pavel Sivakov, the Frenchman. Alongside him, it's the former Colombian time trial champion trying to get round. That's Danny Martinez to stop the clock. The GC guys are pulling through really on stopping the clock on time, and it's actually Danny Martinez who's riding them all off his wheel, low down in that typical position. But they lose 44 seconds to Jaco Ayula, who's in second place, by the way, Scott, because there's someone in between. Is that Bahrain?
It's Bahrain. Yeah, but you're right. 45 seconds lost to Yates. That is a huge margin.
That's big. And we saw last year on the Nice stage that finished on the Promenade des Anglais, Simon Yates is good on that. He's good on that day. Exactly.
Oh, here we go. Jumbo. Jonas Vingegaard.
Yep.
This is the man that everyone's looking towards, as well as Tadej Pogacar. But yeah, a bit more all-round team here.
Also, spare a thought for Tobias Foss. I know I am. World time trial champion who's not allowed to wear his jersey in this discipline.
I think that's so
of
wrong.
Course, the team time trial and individual time trial seen as two different sort of kettles of fish. He gets to ride his rainbow bike though, so fair play. But this is an absolutely phenomenal team. Look at these. Look at the time trial.
If they don't win this,
Vingegaard. It's going to take a lot to beat this. Vingegaard, who just won a time trial recently at Gran Camino. Eduardo Affini, Rowan Dennis, former double world champion. Tobias Foster, reigning time trial world champion. Olaf Koy, he's a sprinter nonetheless. Then Jan Tratnik, former Slovenian champion, former winner of a time trial at the Tour of Romandy. And finally, Nathan van Hooijdonk, who's a brilliant, brilliant rouleur. This team is going to take a lot of beating. And if you're wondering who is wearing that sort of strange-looking jersey, that sort of looks like it's been dyed in the wash somehow, out with mold growing over it. That is the new points jersey, and it's been worn by Olaf Koy. Hoi, hot for a dome. DSM have joined the party.
Almost, but they're definitely
it's a good time, I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this fast. Time. They are going to stop the clock.
Remember?
15 seconds down on Jaco Ayula. 15 seconds down. That's not bad from them. We were expecting huge time gaps for Bardet.
Remember, in Berlin in 2017, they won the World Championships for the team time trial.
But it's a very different team, though, from then.
It is a very
I was going to say.
Michael Matthews rode for them then. Tom Dumoulin, Jean-Claude Anderson. Chad Hager was on that squad then. I don't think any of those guys still ride for them, but they are a team who have ridden well in the past. This is number 3 struggling at the back. What is that? I can't quite look who is number 3. Rowan Dennis. Okay, he's probably just measuring his effort. I wouldn't suspect he is struggling. But at the moment, the time check is Jayco leading with DSM second at 15 seconds, Bahrain in third at 23 seconds, Ineos Grenadiers in fourth at 24 seconds, and fifth for Alpecin de Koning at 32 seconds. Bora Hansgrohe joined the party as well. They're coming close to doubling this time. Maybe Jayco weren't as invincible as we thought. They're not going to beat the time, but they're going to come damn close. 5 seconds slower, 59 kilometer average. You can see Maxi Schachmann's got that sort of face condom on. He's been wrapped around. All you can see is his mouth and his nose. It looks intergalactic. But Intermarché are now coming towards the finishing line in their fluorescent yellow and navy blue jerseys. Who's going to stop the clock for them? This is a fun game to play.
I think that's the first time face condom and intergalactic has been said in the same sentence. But Intermarché Circus 1T, they're coming towards the finish line. 1 minute and 29 seconds, 6th provisional time. But they don't really have anyone here anyway in terms of challenging for the GC. But they were finishing in a lot more traditional team time trial fashion here.
Yeah, they did. They didn't really break up and disintegrate coming to end. Intermarché, who knows what they'll bring. They've got a couple of sort of good breakaway riders. Kobe Goossens here. He had a brilliant start to the season in Mallorca. And they've also got Taco van der Hoorn, who rode a really strong Kuurne-Brussel-Kuurne last week. So, we'll wait and see. But Bora, really strong ride there for Maxi Schachmann's squad.
Yeah.
Is it Paris-Nice number 3 for Maxi? No.
Well, never say never, I guess. But yeah, I think this time probably not. It's weird when you have like these riders that dominate like one stage race like year after year for a short period. Like Rui Costa had the same thing with Tour de Suisse, but like I mean the all-out record here.
Simon Spilak as well.
Yeah, I mean the all-out record. Yeah, he can't win a stage race unless it's in Switzerland. But like Sean Kelly dominated this race like 7 times in a row. Crazy.
Yeah, I think some people must just vibe with the race atmosphere where it is in the calendar. Some people naturally do peak for that time of the year. And maybe once Maxi won in 2020, he got that self-belief that he needed to carry on winning this race. And he fought back the year later. And Bora Hansgrohe is a very strong squad. They've done well in 1 week-long stage races in the past. And even looking towards their performance at the prologue yesterday in Tirreno, they came second place with Leonard Kemner, which is fantastic. And Sasha Vlasov and Jai Hindley were inside the top 20 on very, very good times. Maybe they've had sort of a different drill for the time trials. Maybe that they're just a more well-oiled train in the time trials, which is why they're doing so well today. But once again, you can see Jumbo demonstrating that going wide, that's Jonas Vingegaard, that you should go wide. Oh, he didn't get the memo there. Going wide is the better way of riding for aerodynamics in terms of finishing your train. But Olaf Koy didn't last very long on the front there. There might be a theme.
Maybe he can do something at the end. Maybe he's the guy that they're gonna launch at the end. Oh, Pogacar and co.
It isn't bad. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite scared of what the timing was gonna be, but they're not gonna lose too much time. It's gonna be 14 seconds to Jayco. That's not terrible.
Yeah.
3rd place.
Well, we'll see. I hope Simon Yates is on form. Like, that would make the battle so much more interesting if we have Pogacar, Vingegaard, and Yates in with the yellow jersey, and then having that kind of dynamic. But we'll have to wait and see here.
Yeah.
But Jumbo Visma could just ruin that whole plan if they do well here. But that's crazy. I agree with you that I think it's wrong that Foss isn't wearing the jersey as he's the world champion. But it's a different discipline, as we know. You can't even wear your national crit jersey. But we've just got another team finishing. Astana, 1 minute and 9 seconds down on Jayco. I must admit, that's faster than I thought they were going to go. So not bad ride from them. And who's the next team, Ewan?
This is Soudal Quickstep. Strong team here. Current leaders, if you can say that, they're the Grand Slam holders. They have the big belt for World Tour team time trialing. It's Tim Merlier, Casper Asgreen, Rémi Cavagna, Tim de Klerk, Yves Lampaert, Mauro Schmid, and Florian Sénéchal. It's a strong formation.
Yeah, that was the really annoying part about the World Championships was that the winning team didn't get the rainbow jersey. They got like a small mark or whatever. So I just disrespecting the team time trial discipline, UCI, but I think they were saying that they didn't want it to cover up sponsors and whatever. But I mean, it's not like team time trials are every day. They're like still quite a novelty. We don't have it in every single stage race.
Good.
Shh. We don't want to hear your opinions about team
Long may
time
they
trials.
stay that way. We need another global pandemic
No,
to get
no,
rid of
no. We need to keep them. But we're getting
Well,
UAE Team Emirates here, and Pogacar is doing a lot of the pulling here. If we had like they sometimes have it, the percentages of the riders at the front, I think Pogacar would definitely be in like 70-80% here.
yeah, exactly that. Yeah, he is doing an awful lot of the work. And is it going to work out for them in the end? Not a bad time at the split. And they've got what, 6 riders still there, so they have a lot of manpower still to go. They've only dropped one rider, which might have been Gorshardner, who didn't look so great at the beginning after a crash. Just crossing over to Tirreno Adriatico. If you're a Wout van Aert fan, look away. With 2 kilometers to go, he's off the
Oh, I
back.
think
He's not contending for the
pulling.
stage.
He was pulling the peloton. So
Yeah, he's got a stomach issue, a stomach problem. Sorry, Tirreno Adriatico conversation during Paris seems sort of unholy, but it's the final 2 kilometers of the stage, and Intermarché are pulling for Biniam Girmay. I'll try to give you an update of what happens once we get to the line, but yeah, I'll also fan out a warning for some people if you don't want to hear what's happening in that race. Lulu as well off the back now too, but it's all about Paris right now, and look at this, Groupama, strong time.
yeah, very strong time. Again, they've been a good team in the past in team time trials. 7 seconds down. But here we go, Uno X with the terrible helmets. They are going to be, one of the slower teams here. Yeah, 1 minute 35, 37. Oh, 36. So 8th provisionally, and that's going to be dropping down quite a bit. So those dreadful helmets not helping them, unfortunately. But this isn't their goal anyway, so they're not really going to be caring about this at all.
Yeah, I think it was Anton Sharma.
Yeah, it looked
who,
like him, yeah.
Stopped the clock. Here we go. EF. You can't miss them. The riders in the pink jerseys. On the lineup today, we have Nielsen, Paolo, Stefan Bisseka, Owain Dull, Magnus Kortz Nielsen, James Piccolo. Andrea Piccolo, wrong Piccolo person. Tom Scully and Marin van den Berg. It's a strong team. I reckon EF can get a top 3 today.
Yeah, I mean, the top 3 is going to be very competitive, you would say here. Oh, and we just had Tirreno Adriatico finish, and yeah, unfortunately, Biniam Girmay fans, it's not him. That's all I can say.
All I can say is that if you don't know who's going to win a sprint stage, oh, there we go. Sorry, it just finished, and it might be a photo finish. Do you know if anybody's been declared as winner? It's a close one. Spoiler alert. Mute us right now, but don't tune away. It looks to be between Philipsen and Jan. 2 of them.
Yeah, but back to Paris-Nice. Sorry, Paris-Nice. We won't disrespect you again. I hate this that they're at the same time. They're 2 amazing races, and why can't we have, like last week we had no racing hardly, and then it would be perfect, but whatever. But Soudal Quickstep, issues here. Issues for the world champions. 2 riders out the back here. 144 and 142 struggling. This is
Kasper Asgreen.
Ooh.
Kasper Asgreen is, I'll be honest, has not looked great for the past 12 months.
Yeah.
And he looks back on number 144. That looks like the huge figure of Tim de Klerk. It is Tim de Klerk. This is chaotic.
Very bad.
Yeah, Asgreen, who had a big crashed in someone, landed straight on his chest. I don't know whether that's coming out of him. You can see his left elbow as well as bandaged up. And as a rider on the front of the Soudal team threw his hand up and sort of what's going on here kind of fashion. With 27 kilometers to go, we're a long way away from finishing in Dampierre. And here we go. Ange Citroën about to cross the line. Vroom, vroom. All the way to the line. And they stop the clock at 1:23 down. Big gaps today.
Yeah, very big gaps. But I think they'll be okay with this. I mean, Aurélien Panepintre, I think he's going to be a bit upset with this. 1 minute and 23 seconds down to, quite a few rivals, you would say. But Jumbo-Visma, the other team that we're looking at with that dreadful green jersey, what were they thinking? Trek Segafredo, leader's jersey as well. Oh, shoot, wait, Pilsen has the leader's jersey. That completely slipped me by. But that makes so much sense. Why wouldn't it?
Yes. Sorry, did you see Alex Kirsch's helmet? It started like there on his head. I think half of his sort of hair is poking out of it. Interesting choice there. But yeah, the final team today, Trek Segafredo with the yellow jersey of Mads Payson. Alongside them, they have Matthias Schielamoso, Julien Bernard, Dan Hulde, Alex Kirsch, Jacopo Mosca, and Otto Vergaerde of Belgium.
I don't think they're going to keep this jersey.
You never know. Is this UAE? Yes, UAE. They've dropped 2 riders now, so down to 4. With how many kilometers to go do they have? Interesting. So Pogacar's still here. Number 36 is still here. That would be Matteo Trentin, who's riding a good time trial. Also, their number 4 as well, still in the mix. That's Felix Gauchard, who was dropped initially, but has come back fighting. Movistar coming up to the split now. They'd be lucky to finish inside top 10, I'll say that now.
Yeah, it doesn't look great for Movistar. 57.4 kilometers, but average, and still can't do anything about it. 64.
This is Ignatius Konovalovas.
Oh, that's quite strange. He's a very good time trialist on his day.
He's also very old nowadays. No offense, Ignatius. We love you. You've given our sport a lot, but he's not exactly the most sprightly guy in Groupama Française.
That is true. Yeah, 10.8 kilometers left now for them, so we'll see how the French team can do. The pride of France, you would say, still, despite David Gaudu and Demar's antics. But we're still awaiting Jumbo-Visma. We think them, or I'm starting to think Quickstep's not going to challenge for the top now. They're not going to be a top 3 team today.
No, I think Quickstep look a bit chaotic right now. I'm skeptical. EF, I reckon, will look good, though. They're the kind of team to have practiced this. They've also got good morale recently as well. They've been riding very well this season so far. And cutting up to the finishing line now, it's Arkea Samsic, 1 minute and 15 down. It's Kevin Vauclin's going to take them over the line, 120 down, 6th place. Not bad for Arkea, who we would expect to really be in that bottom echelon of teams. But, decent ride for the Bretons.
Yeah, we've got plenty of teams still to go to in terms of the finish line. Plenty of teams on the course still. Jumbo-Visma is the exciting team to watch out for, though. Have we had them over the... No, they haven't come towards the intermediate time check, so they're nearing that time. We haven't seen any... Well, okay, it's 3 minutes... 3-minute difference between the teams, but it would be great to see other team get caught here. I don't think we're going to see that today, unfortunately. But Team DSM are the next team to come to the finish line. Bardet, could this be his year? Could this be the year that they end the curse of no winners in the Tour de France from France? What do you think, Ewan?
I know he's happy that there aren't many time trialing kilometers. Also, the race goes very close to his hometown, with the stage in Puy de Dôme, not far away from Brioude, where he was born. But I'm not that favorable. I think Gaudu maybe. I'm a little bit more positive with 4th place last year, knocking on the door maybe for a podium,
but no winner.
But I don't think we're going to have a French podium this year, to be honest. I think the competition this year is too high. With Hindley going for it, although we don't really know about Hindley. Also, probably one of the guys from Ineos will be a nail on for top 5. And also, I mean, just plenty of other teams sending really strong contenders. We haven't even seen Carapaz this year yet, the now Ecuadorian champion. He's a guy who's one of the most reliable forces in Grand Tours. We're still awaiting his big comeback to race.
That's true. When is this first race?
Maybe Catalonia, I believe.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that one. But yeah, we haven't seen him.
Very late.
Also, cover your ears right now. Results from Tirreno have been finalized. The winner of the stage 2 to Follonica is Fabio Jakobsen. In second place, Jasper Philipsen. Third place for Fernando Gaviria. Fourth place for Benim Girmay. And in fifth is Juan Seba Molano.
Simon Yates just saying something at the finish as well. We got DSM at the finishing line. We thought they would be closer than this, but 45 seconds. 45 seconds.
Yep, they looked super close at the split. Maybe this just shows that Jaco went ham on the second half of the course.
Jumbo.
It's the time we've been waiting for. Yeah, exactly that. Jumbo, are they going to go green? Is it going to be better than Al Ula? Oof, it's going to be close. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh! Within half a second. But they are quicker.
Of a second faster. That is incredible.
It is. So Jumbo, now the fastest on course. We did kind of suspect that they were going to do good. And now in the hot seats, Jaco Alula trying to warm themselves up, a little bit confused. They thought it would have been a fun sort of side project to win today. But Jumbo Visma have different ideas. If they were to win, it would mean that Olaf Koy would go into the yellow jersey, the youngster, which would be very interesting indeed. Here's the provisional classement for the stage. It's Jaco Aula who lead, 43 seconds ahead of Bahrain, 44 ahead of Ineos Grenadiers and DSM. And in fifth place, it's the first team out on the road today, Lotto Destiny, at 59 seconds. UAE are down to 3 riders, Scott. This is worrying.
Yeah, well, at least it's not the old rules. That's all you can say.
Yeah, exactly that. Maybe they've actually done this very well, and they're trying to just like keep the momentum up. It's Miguel Biao, Felix Goldschartner, and Tadej Pogacar now as a little trio. Are they just going to send Pogo and Miguel Biao off the front now?
Yeah. It hurts my eyes. It hurts my brain. These new rules. Soudal Quickstep, they're almost 13 minutes into their ride here. We saw them struggling a bit before. Yeah, Ewan, do you have much faith in them still or not?
I don't know. We'll have to wait until the split.
Yeah,
I really can't tell.
I think they're one of the next teams to come.
The start was so chaotic, but then other teams have had chaotic starts and still pulled through. Yeah, we'll find out. Because I guess the chaos this time isn't too bad because it matters on the first rider instead of it being another rider. Oh, I forgot about Bora. Here we go, Bora coming up towards the line.
That's a very good time.
Yep, Danny van Poppel's going to take, or is that no? Nils Pollitt will take them over the line. 1 second down. Not bad. Maxi Schachmann, second place across the line. GC still intact. Yeah,
not bad. The third title still on the line potentially, but while Ewan just disappears, a UAE team Emirates rider has just disappeared, so they're down to 2 riders now. So this is largely becoming the Pogacar show as we're very used to seeing, but not really in a team time trial. So but we lost. Olaf Koy has gone out the back as well now, so 20 minutes into Jumbo Visma's rides, they've got 12.8 kilometers left here, so Jumbo really hitting it hard now. But as we know, the time is taking on the first rider. Yes, it's silly, it's weird. Let's just try and ignore it and enjoy the spectacle, I guess. But Bor Hansgrohe, third at the provisional time check, or the intermediate time check. But Groupama FDJ, we're seeing them going very fast as well. 4.6 kilometers left. And it should be an interesting finish for them as well.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. They have King Kung within their ranks. Godu, Kevin Geniet, a couple of decent time trialing engines. They have a good team cohesion, apart from the whole Dema and Godu remarks from earlier this season. Godu, throwing his hand out. I'm intrigued to see why. I think he's signaling for the gap to be filled. So Godu now really sitting on the back, not spending much energy. That might actually be a good idea, given that like we saw Simon Yates and so forth using up an awful lot of energy, or is this David Gaudu trying to communicate to the team car?
I think
Interesting
I think
stuff.
it's the latter. Yeah,
Yeah. Oof. Anyways, Cofidis.
haven't mentioned them today.
No, I think that might be for a reason. They're going to come across the checkpoint in what, 10th place? Yeah, 33 seconds down. They've got Benjamin Thomas here, but he crashed yesterday, so he might not be contending. He's a guy waiting for a big victory. But here we go. Miguel Biao and Pogacar now side by side. They've come up to the barrier section. Oh, who knows if this has worked or not? This feels like such a big risk. Maybe they've taken the whole first rider over the line thing too seriously. Where other teams have stayed together, Bora together. We saw Jacob Alula with 3 riders, and now Pogacar and Biao are in the final couple hundred meters. Pogacar out the saddle, attacking. Biao is done. It's time for Pogacar to go on his own. Can Tadej, like a rocket through this corner now in Dampierre-en-Burly. We're waiting for the timing. It's not bad. It's not a bad time at all for UAE.
Yeah.
When other teams haven't come anywhere near Jacob Alula with 100 to go, Pogacar is on his own. It's been Pogacar and Miguel Biao all the way to the line. This Slovenian, he is 20 seconds down on Jacob Alula. That's not bad at all. That's really not bad. And remember, he's got a 12-second buffer on Vingegaard already.
Yeah.
But he spent a lot of energy on that.
That could have been a lot worse, to be honest. So that...
It was risky, but it worked out.
That's a win, to be honest, for them. But yeah, Tadej Pogacar just saving his team there, you would say. But if you had 2 riders in a time trial, Miguel Biao and Tadej Pogacar, you can't get much better than that for a 2-up, you would say. But we are awaiting Jumbo-Visma, of course, the fastest intermediate time check. But yeah, Soudal Quickstep here coming towards the intermediate time check. They're not going to be the quickest. We saw them semi-implode. And it looks like the team from Belgium are not going to be the benchmarkers they're so used to in this discipline of cycling. So that's a bit of a shame. They're well outside the time, 18 seconds here. They're not going to be challenging for the win at all.
No, EF still out on course. The guys in pink could be. We wait and see. But provisionally, the times are this. Jaco first at the finishing line, UAE second, 19 seconds down, Bora 21 seconds down, Bahrain 43, and Ineos 44. Bear that in mind, Pogacar's now got a 30-second buffer over Danny Martinez, who we said could be a threat if his team performed well in the team time trial. Given that UAE are nowhere near being as strong as Jumbo-Visma, if they lose maybe 20 seconds here today, that's what, 80 seconds? That'll be 8 seconds down in GC for Vingegaard, because of the bonus seconds he got over the past couple days. That's not bad at all. All that is one more bonus second sprint on a sprint stage. And he's back in contention as if nothing happened.
Yeah, we're just seeing Groupama FDJ, the remnants of their team here spread across the road. But yeah, that was some effort by Tadej Pogacar there. 1 kilometer left for Groupama FDJ. Let's see if they have got the right strategy here. Yeah, 1 rider.
Yeah,
is that all they've got? Is it just 1 rider they've got now?
No. They're riders up the road.
So
I can see them just ahead.
They've just not caught up to the front of Groupama FDJ here.
Yeah, exactly that. It does go fast. We go through this corner, and then it goes ever so slightly uphill whilst they make their way towards the chateau, and it's King Kung off the front and Gaudu in second place. 150 to go first, being eclipsed. This should be second place for Groupama.
Yeah, it could be second. That's not a bad result from them.
King Kung pulling through.
Second.
10 seconds down. And Stefan Kung said that he didn't like the idea of this new rule, but he liked the fact that they were changing something. So for a guy who wasn't too happy with this new rule for the team time trial, he's done pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very strange rule. It looks so weird on the TV screens seeing this, but Jumbo-Visma, the team that we've been picking up all this time, wearing number 1. He's not the number 1, obviously. Jonas Vingegaard, not part of Paris-Nice last year, but we have got 7.7 kilometers until the defending Tour de France champion comes to the finish. The 2020 and 2021 winner, he's finished, of course, and currently sitting second in terms of GC, wearing the white jersey. but that might change quite considerably here. EF Education Easy Post coming up to the intermediate time check. This is going to be a fast one. Oh, just outside the time of both Jumbo-Visma and Jayco Aula. But they're definitely going to be... Oh, no. They're falling outside here. Inside the top 5 here. Inside the top 5. 10 seconds. That's going to be an ask to overturn.
Yep, exactly that. Group Armor could be happy. Godu's in a great place now in GC.
Yeah.
He might actually be one of the kings of the hill, depending on what Jumbo-Visma do. He's ahead of Pogacar. But then with bonus seconds, I think that might flip. But yeah, Jumbo about to sweep up 2 of the guys from Total. This will be demoralizing for them. Are they going to use the slipstream?
Yellow Express.
We'll
No,
do they know they're right behind them?
They're looking. They're looking. Are they going to try?
They're almost flabbergasted. Yeah. But Jumbo are all together. It can be more different sort of styles from Jumbo and UAE.
Yeah, Jonas Vingegaard still in there, number 1, holding the number of Primož Roglič last year. But yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah, it is. Vingegaard's got such a low profile on his time trial bike. Do you not think he's really super low down? But with 6K to go, we'll see what happens. There's so many of their guys still here. Nathan van Hooydonk at the back is still here as well. Good ride from him. Yeah, we'll wait and see. I think the only rider dropped might actually be Olaf Koy. Tobias Foss is still here. Dennis, I think, is still here as well. So, yeah, very good effort.
Nathan van Hooydonk is not enjoying being on the wheel of Jonas Vingegaard, getting absolutely 0 draft from him almost.
Yeah, Nathan, right at the back. Big player at last year's Paris-Nice and almost came close to winning at Kuurne Brussel-Kuurne. But Jumbo-Visma do currently lead at the check, and with 5K to go, we are expecting something special from them. How much time will Vingegaard gain back from Pogacar today after losing 12 seconds over the past 2 stages? Oof.
Yeah, inside the last 5 kilometers now for Jumbo-Visma, so all still to play for them. And can they potentially... Oh, here we go. Movistar outside the top 5 here. And, I mean, they're not renowned as a team time trial team. 8th quickest provisionally, 47 seconds down on the current leaders, Jayco Aula. So, yeah, Movistar can't be too upset with that, I would say.
Yeah, they can't be too beat up. Probably riding for Matteo Jorgensen in the GC fight. But look at this. Trek Segafredo now. They're coming up to the check. Yeah, Mads Payson will be losing his yellow jersey. We can say that.
Oh, sad times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, quite a strong team still, though. And they'll be happy with their stage win. Like, Trek Segafredo doesn't seem like a team that are... Well, actually, a few weeks ago where they almost won 2 stage races. And then, unfortunately, didn't on the same day, which was a bit of a shame.
Yeah. Oh, so someone with the Thibaut Pinot sign on the side of the road. I don't think they got the memo that he's not here. He's in Italy at the moment. But Jumbo-Visma, 4K to go. It's going to be good, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't even got Wout van Aert or Primož Roglič in the squad as well. Oh, they're such a frightening team right now.
Yeah. And also, case in point here, that time trial jerseys look different to the road jerseys. Just look at the back of these Jumbo-Visma jerseys. They look completely different to their road ones.
That's true. 3.5 kilometers now. This is going to be very fast.
Yeah.
I think we're all just thinking, what is the time going to be? Oh, Jacob.
It's like sort of waiting to find out your results for like an exam you just did. You weren't so confident, on it, and then you open the envelope and here we go. Oh, of course they did better than me. Yada yada, whatever. With 3K to go, we're getting closer to the finishing line in Dampierre-en-Burly, and it looks like this is going to be a nuclear performance from Jumbo-Visma.
Yeah, masterclass potentially again. Once again, we had a bit of a flop at Strade Bianche from them, a miscommunication. But here, they're just such an all-round destructive team right now. 2.7 kilometers. Oh, who do you think is going to be the man finishing this off? We saw Tadej Pogačar with UAE, but who are they going to send off to be their chosen son really here?
Vingegaard, Tratnik. Tratnik's got good acceleration. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Vingegaard and Tratnik off the front.
Yeah, we were talking about maybe Cruyff being it, but he's maybe 5K down the road now. So,
but I believe he would be the yellow jersey though. If the rule is respected, wrong. He would be.
But it seems wrong.
It does seem wrong, but it's the new rules, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But inside the last 2 kilometers, here we go. Total Energies. They're throwing the rider up the road, and Turgis.
Yeah, this is Turgis. Yeah.
And 1 minute and 6 seconds. Not a bad time, you would say, for them. But yeah, that helmet. The helmets going on this year is just, not a fan.
No, it looks stupid. It looks very, very silly. It was actually Pierre Latour. I thought it was Turgis because he had a beard. No, he had that silly balaclava thing on. Pierre Latour, not bad after crashing quite hard yesterday. Oh, a rider's off. A rider's off for Jumbo-Visma. Who was it, though? I expect Nathan van Hooijdonk, but I'm trying to work out if he's still here. He's probably the weakest link in terms of their time trialing engines. But yeah, they are just coming into the final kilometer. Tobias Foss still here in the rainbow jersey bike, the rainbow bike of the world time trial champion. Oof, here we go, another rider off as well. Foss still here, Vingegaard still here. That's Dennis off the back, I believe, the Australian, who is dropped. And here we go. It's the 4 riders from Jumbo-Visma still battling through into the final kilometer. Nathan van Hooijdonk is still there. Fabulous ride from him. Tobias Foss as well. Jan Tratnik and Jonas Vingegaard. 400 to go. It's 4 guys still here for Jumbo-Visma. This couldn't be a bigger contrast to UAE, who had the lone Pogačar riding on his own all the way to the end. Vingegaard now in sort of the handlebars going out wide, not using the sort of TT skis like the other riders here. It's Tratnik pushing on in the front. They've got 15 seconds to play with 150 to go. This is going to be tantalizingly close for the stage win, but they are in a great position to take the yellow jersey once we get to the proper mountains of this race. 7, 6, 5, they lead. 4 seconds of a lead over Jaco Al-Ula. And here we go, Jumbo-Visma, total domination once again. It's the bumblebees, the wasps, they sting in Dampierre-en-Burly, and they look to be in the driving seat to win this stage.
Yeah, we had the feeling. Two world time trial champions in their roster or in their team. Jonas Vingegaard as well, phenomenally strong.
Tratnik, baby.
Jan Tratnik, like
signing of the year. I'm telling you now, he is so good.
Signing of the year. Wait, who did I think about? Oh, I was thinking Rui Costa.
He's going to be the Christophe Laporte this year.
Rui Costa has been a good signing. Such an underrated signing.
True. Yes, I hear lots of murmurs that Rui Costa is not particularly liked in the Pro Peloton, however.
But Jumbo-Visma...
A bit like Gianni Vermeer.
We're not finished yet. There's still teams, even though Jumbo are celebrating, we still have a few teams coming in. And don't forget, we will be doing recaps as well on the Cycling Day and Extra channel, or this week about Paris-Nice, and hopefully also Tirreno if we can squeeze that effort in as well. But yeah, Jumbo-Visma really just showing who's boss here. And I think this is quite a nice metaphor, or this symbol for Jumbo-Visma and UAE. UAE, Tadej Pogačar finishes alone, and Jumbo-Visma, they finish as a team.
Yeah, it is quite fitting, isn't it? But based on this performance, 18 plus 5 is 23. 23 minus 12.
Oh, I've been keeping score, don't worry.
11.
So you don't have to be doing maths.
Well, 11 well, after last year's blunder of saying that Leonard Kemner was a yellow jersey in the Tour de France when I made a horrible maths equation.
He was very sad about that.
Yes, yeah, I think we all were. Right? But yeah, I believe Jonas is now going to be 11 seconds ahead of Pogacar in the GC, which is decent, but it's only 11 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still
Remy Cavagna's just been dropped as well, by the way.
Yeah, 4 kilometers left for Soudal Quickstep, but I think right now, I think the stage has been decided. Soudal Quickstep, it looks like the beat has been taken out of the TTT. I don't think they're particularly motivated for this anymore now, knowing that they're forced the benchmark that they're so used to being. But yeah, hey ho. 3.6 kilometers now. Yeah, but 4 seconds quicker than Jaco Aula. That is quite impressive.
It is, but bear in mind, it's only 11 seconds in GC ahead of Pogacar.
No, I meant for the stage.
Yeah. For the stage, but it wasn't sort of. I mean, in the pre that they could take big chunks of him. 11 seconds now. It's not that much.
I mean,
and Pogacar's fine with being on the back foot, to be honest. But then Jumbo is so good at controlling a race.
I still think having Yates in there is. Oh no, we're not gonna have him in. It would have been better if Ayula won and Yates had the yellow jersey. To be honest, that would have been more interesting. But nevertheless, the yellow jersey, speaking of him, Mads Pedersen, 8.6 kilometers. And doing a lion's share of the work here. The final team of today's stage, they're not going to be challenging for the win, but we're seeing that aerodynamic solution here being pulled off here by Trek Segafredo as well. So the only one really not doing it was Jonas Vingegaard, I think. Cofidis coming to the finish here.
Yeah, I'm just sort of trying to number. If we are to believe these rules, then this would mean Olaf Koy would be the new leader, but he was dropped very early on, so that doesn't feel fair. Maybe
wrong.
Maybe there's an asterisk in the rules. If so, either Nathan van Hooydonk or Jan Tratnik will lead this. Tratnik was ahead of Vingegaard in GC before today, and he also finished ahead of him today.
I mean, it's quite
maybe a couple of centimeters.
It's quite funny that one of the TT engines for both Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard is the countryman of his rivals in the GC. So like Jonas Vingegaard has Jan Tratnik and Tadej Pogacar has Miguel Biao. Kind of similar riders in the duties that they perform.
Yeah, just see Tim Merlier just completely stopped pedaling now.
They just don't care anymore.
As has number 147.
They're doing the slingshot. They're doing the slingshot.
This is Seneschal, I believe, out the back. So now they're down to just a couple of riders left in this. It's, I think, Yves Lampaert and someone else.
Kasper Asgreen.
But, yeah.
So,
well, after the finishing line, you can see Vingegaard there, side by side with Eduardo Affini. Red jersey wearer at last year's Vuelta a España, let's not forget. And Vingegaard, last year's Tour de France champion.
Oh, Koy has finished.
Olaf Koy as well, just winding down too.
We thought he was somewhere on the course still.
Well, he's home and he might be in the yellow jersey.
That is so wrong if he is.
This is a new format for the rules, so we're not quite sure on what's going to happen.
Wrong. I don't like that.
No,
It feels wrong.
We'll see. I'd love to see Tratnik in the yellow jersey. I'll just say that. But we're just seeing now number 145. Yeah, Lampaert and Asgreen are going to take Soudal to the line. What was the time of Jumbo Visma?
I can't quite remember, but it was
as an actual number.
A lot quicker than this here.
33:55. Oh yeah, it's already gone. Well, yeah.
Yeah, gone.
Asgreen on his own now.
Are they even going to be inside the top 10 here? Top 6 right now. 6th provisionally. Let's see. Coming towards the finish. And 39 seconds down. So 6th currently. And we still have Trek Segafredo to go. So, they're not going to be happy about this. But this is what we were thinking was going to happen to UAE. So that just shows you how good UAE has actually been.
Yep, exactly that. UAE have been, they did perform well. Such different tactics to every other team and sort of grinding it all down like a long lead out for 30 kilometers. Jumbo-Visma stayed together. Only within that final kilometer did they disintegrate. Here's the provisional standings, by the way. Jumbo-Visma still lead, 4 seconds ahead of Jaco Al-Ula. Groupama Française déjà in the third at 14 seconds, UAE in fourth at 23 seconds. Bora Hansgrohe in fifth at 25 seconds, and Soudal Quickstep at 39. What's shocking to me, Scott, is that Ineos Grenadiers sit in eighth, and they might move down further. For a team that have been so good at this discipline over the past 15 years, or 13 years, they have underperformed today.
Yeah. I think Jumbo-Visma are very happy about this. They've just been winning left, right, and centre. And then Strada was more about them messing up. It's one of those things where it's like the headline isn't so-and-so wins. It's the headline is that Jumbo-Visma doesn't win. A bit like that.
Yeah, and it feels like it takes away a little bit from the success of others, which is a shame. But 4K to go, Trek Segafredo. This is the leader of the race. This is Mads Payson, who is probably going to be living his last couple of minutes in the yellow jersey, to be honest.
Soaking it in.
Of Paris-Nice 2023. I'm not saying he's never going to get the yellow jersey again.
Yeah, but he's definitely not going to get out of this race. Unless something very freakish happens.
You never know. Big mountain day for Mads Payson could put him back in on the top step of the podium.
I mean, stranger things have happened. Greg Van Avermaet, winner of Tirreno Adriatico, but EF Education Easy Post coming here to the finish. Is this man was caught? Oh,
yeah, it is. Come on.
Oh.
No.
EF just missing out there. Wow, you did say it, Ewan. You flagged them up as a potential contender. Magnus Cort Nielsen here we're speaking of one Dane to another Dane and now a third Dane. Magnus Cort Nielsen just driving it at home there. 1 minute and 1.41 seconds slower than Jumbo-Visma. So that's a ride. That's a shame. That's the kind of margin where you're like, oh, if we just pulled a bit harder somewhere, that's agonizing.
Yes. Frowny face. EF, the penultimate team to finish. And that was a really, really good time. And I think that probably shows that Trek will not be winning today. They've got 3 kilometers to go now. And they've got more than 3 minutes to do that in. So we can rule them out of a top 5 finish for this stage. And Jumbo-Visma are the winners of Stage 3 of Paris-Nice 2023, ahead of EF Education First and Jaco Al-Ula, which we believe will place Olaf Koy in the leader's yellow jersey.
I'm not
but we
sure.
need confirmation this is a
Magnus
new racing.
Nielsen now. They're saying Magnus Cort Nielsen might be the one moving into the yellow jersey because of bonus seconds.
Do you take bonus seconds?
But we'll see. We'll wait confirmation. But yeah, they're saying it. Magnus Cort Nielsen is virtually leading the GC now. So we are going to pass it from one Dane to another Dane.
But I don't understand that. Is that because he was the first over the line?
I think so, yeah. And because he was third the other day. But Trek Segafredo losing another rider here. But they're inside the last 2 kilometers here. And it could be one Dane to another Dane, and hopefully another Dane after that, in terms of Jonas Vingegaard, but we'll have to wait and see. 1.8 kilometers. It's not going to be the fastest time here. Mads Pedersen still in a huge effort here for Trek Segafredo. They have Matthias Skjelmose, who's been doing very well in France, but EF Education Easy Post just congratulating each other there, and Ewan, this must be distraught for them.
Yeah, they didn't win the stage, but I think Magnus Cort, if we are to believe he is in yellow, which would make sense, then it's a big win for them. They haven't really led many World Tour races over the past couple of years. Stefan Bissegger had won a stage here in Paris-Nice, not far away in Gien, a couple of years back. But yeah, this is really, really good progress for them. Remember, they came so close to leading the Tour de France last year with Nelson Paulus. Tantalizingly close almost. So it's good news for them. They've had a really great start to the year. 900 to go for Mads Payson and Matthias Skjelmose in the wheel, number 131. Sorry, 131, yeah. So 2 Danes going at it. Skelmosa, who's had a good start to 2023.
Danes everywhere. What is happening?
Something in the water.
Definitely. But yeah, Mads Pedersen.
And there's a lot of water, I can tell you.
Yeah. But Skjelmose is kind of the next new hope for us Danes, in terms of, well, we have, but like the prince, if you will, if Vingård is the king. But Mads Pedersen doing his turn, it's over now, and Skjelmose is being fired off like a rocket. It looks like they're just going to be inside top 10 here. 7th, so they're going to be slower than, who was it? What are they going to, are they going to be inside top 10? Yeah, 45 seconds down, 8th.
That therefore means Ineos have been shoved down.
Oof.
So, yeah, solid ride. And yeah, Skjelmose's helmet, just looking a bit funky.
Yeah.
But there we go. We await GC. We're a little bit confused. We think Magnus Kort's leading, but the stage goes to Jumbo Visma.
I mean, I'd rather want Magnus Kort leading than Olaf Koy, considering that he got dropped.
Yeah, I mean, once again, this is a new format for the time trial, and we don't quite know what it means for GC. But we'll find out. It would make sense because every GC guy was kind of there fighting for it. That maybe their time on the day is the time that matters. If so, then there's going to be huge gaps in GC.
Yeah.
So, thoughts? Do you think they should keep this?
No. No. Bring back the old. This was terrible. Yeah, I mean, what was good to see was that UAE really utilized the system and maximized their riders. I thought that was incredible, but I don't like the idea. I thought UAE played it to perfection with the pieces that they had, but other than that, no, I don't like this, because if we could have had the potential, we could have had the outcome where Koy was leading despite being 2 kilometers down the road on his teammates, and that feels wrong. What do you think?
I don't know. It was interesting to watch, but it's probably because it's new. If every team time trial was like this, then maybe it wouldn't be so interesting. But I mean, I will be honest. I think team time trialing is one of the most boring disciplines. So I like how they've done something different to it. But yeah, I mean, it does seem kind of silly.
Yeah.
Also, you need to be really sure on your leader in this format as well, then, because like you can't sort of. Okay, let's say for instance Pogacar crashes in 2 days' time. I'm not hoping for it, but let's say Pogacar crashes out, and then Felix Gauchard lost 2 minutes because he was riding on behalf of Pogacar. Then he's ruled out of GC.
Yeah.
It puts so much emphasis and concentration in the hands of the one guy who's up in front, which in that case was Pogacar. And every team has kind of done the same thing. Anyways, here's your top 10. It's Jumbo Visma who wins stage 3 of the Tour of Paris-Nice rather. Second place, it's EF Education First Easy Post at 1 second. Third for Jaco Al-Ula. Fourth for Groupama Français des Jeux at 14 seconds. Fifth for UAE at 23 seconds. Bora Hansgrohe sit in 6th at 25 seconds. Soudal Quickstep 7th at 39 seconds. Trek Segafredo at 45 seconds. Bahrain Victorious 9th place at 47 seconds. And at 48 seconds, shockingly, at 10th place, it's Ineos Grenadiers. So now this means that Danny Martinez is a good minute behind Jonas Vingegaard.
Yeah, I think Danny Martinez, he has to do something extraordinary now to get it back, but then you have to fight with the might of Jumbo Visma and also UAE, so Ineos Grenadiers is not looking great for you guys. But we await the confirmation of the yellow jersey as well. I think Paris-Nice organisers are also stumbling over this a bit.
Yeah, a lot of sort of arithmetic going on, number crunching. Our statistic providers are saying that it's Magnus Kort over at Pro Cycling Stats, but I don't think anybody's really confident enough to declare it for the time being. We're waiting. Is it going to be a rider from Jumbo? Is it going to be Magnus Kort? It would make sense if it's Magnus Kort because he got the 4 seconds yesterday on that sprint finish into Fontainebleau. But then Jumbo, we thought
they cut away for
with Olaf.
They cut away for
Because
commercials.
he's part of the team, but he dropped early.
Yeah, but I must admit, UAE played that really well. I thought they were going to lose a lot more here. Only losing 23 seconds, that's not bad. Considering that the other team has both Rowan Dennis and Tobias Foss and Eduardo Affini. 3 huge time trial engines. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see here who actually wins this. Wins the jersey for the day tomorrow. But we definitely know it's going to be changing hands after tomorrow's stage as well. We are going to be doing another stream here on the Second Day in Extra channel, so make sure to tune in for that as well. And we're going to do our recaps of hopefully Tirreno and Paris-Nice as well. And yeah, Tadej Pogačar definitely showing his raw power here, even on a time trial bike. Such a complete time trialist, you would say. Not many people have won a hilly time trial and a flat one in the Tour.
Yeah, I'm seeing on Twitter that Magnus Cort is in the yellow jersey.
Well, there we have it. I think this is a good place to finish.
From a number of sources. A number of sources that he will be. But then Don La Musette has said that Nathan van Hooijdonk might be in the leader's jersey. We'll find out. But I believe it's Magnus Cort. That's the more that's the source I'm seeing here.
Well, hopefully thank you for staying with us, but we're just going to see who it is, and then we'll shoot off. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow anyway for more Paris-Nice commentary. And yeah, we've got all the way till Nice on Sunday as well, so a lot of racing still to go on. We still haven't seen Tadej Pogačar and Jonas Vingegaard go proper head-to-head yet. We're very excited to see when that's going to be, but have we got clarification? Oh,
ring-a-ding-a-ding. Where's my frog? Here we go. It's time. I have the screenshot. Magnus Cort leads Paris-Nice 2023 from stage 3 in Dampierre-en-Burly. In second place, it's Nathan van Hooijdonk at 1 second. Third place, Michael Matthews at 3 seconds. Fourth for Jan Tratnik at 3 seconds. Fifth is Jonas Vingegaard at 3 seconds. Yates sits in sixth at 7 seconds. Nielsen Paulus and Tobias Foss are at 8 seconds. Kel O'Brien is at 11 seconds. And Tadej Pogačar is at 14 seconds. So Pogačar is 11 seconds below Vingegaard. Magnus Cort leads this just 1 second ahead of Van Hooijdonk.
Well,
that took a while to get.
Well, there we have it. That's it. From one day into another, the yellow jersey. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching here. Paris-Nice 2023.